Yes, I hate it.
Time of history's embrace, Captain's quarters sets the pace with Captain Mayhem at the helm. A voyage of knowledge, a story to round. Captain's quarters weekly delight, where history's treasures take flight. Led by Mayhem, Longwood, and Joe, they explore the past, row by row. Navigator Longwood charts the course, guiding listeners to knowledge's source. Cartographer Joe, with maps in hand, unveils the secrets of time.
Now we're live.
There, I'm not muted anymore. All right. Welcome to another episode of Captain's Quarters Podcast, right out of St. Augustine, Florida, the oldest city in the nation. And good to see everyone on board. And as always, we like to make a good welcome, but you also need to find out how we should find the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can YouTube us. Well, we're on YouTube live every Monday night. That QR code will get you there. You can like us. You can follow us. You can like and follow and subscribe to us. I always forget that last word. Do all three. Keep up with us. Mandy's always putting new little extras in there. If you decide to be a member of our show and watch what's going on, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And be a member and a cast and crew of the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, there it is. And I think that's it. Very good. I'm looking at some things here that keep changing on my screen all of a sudden. I don't know why. That's weird. All right. Now, let's see. Joke of the week with Mini Mayhem. Do we have a joke? Is he sitting out there? Sponsored by Ancient City Sirens. Ancient City Sirens.
I'm sorry. Salt City Comics. What am I doing? Salt City Comics. My fault.
All right. Well, it is Salt City Comics. All right. Very good. Go ahead and throw it up there.
Ahoy, mates. Mini Mayhem here with Joke of the Week. Sponsored by our cartoonist friend Travis Rami of Salt City Comics. How do pirates enjoy their Thanksgiving leftovers? Think about it, and I'll give you the answer at the end of the show.
All right. How do they enjoy their leftovers? That might be a good hint for all of us that are having Thanksgiving dinner this weekend or this week coming up. And let's see what happens. All right. Let's see. There's Zachary Harker from Michigan and Nightingale in Florida, from St. Augustine, Florida. Good to see you aboard. Thanks for being a part of the show. And of course, we always follow Joke of the Week with This Week in Nautical History, which is sponsored by Ancient City Sirens. So let's go ahead and throw that up there and let it rip. Because Ancient City Sirens is the premier dance crew of all St. Augustine and this part of Florida. Our good friend, Miss Gina, the leader of the pack, will give you anything you need as far as great dancing entertainment. There's the words I was looking for right there. Go ahead, Davey, put it up.
We begin This Week in Nautical History on November 24th, 1642. Dutch explorer Abel Tasman is the first European to discover Van Diemen's Land, Tasmania. November 25th, 1826. The Greek frigate Hellas arrives in Nafplin to become the first flagship of the Hellenic Navy. November 26, 1778, British explorer Captain James Cook is the first European to visit Maui in the Sandwich Islands, now Hawaii. November 27, 1942, French Navy at Toulon scuttles ships and subs so Nazis cannot seize them. November 28, 1520, Portuguese navigator Ferdinand Magellan begins crossing the Pacific Ocean. November 29, 1941, passenger ship Lorraine sends radio signals of sighting Japanese war fleet. And finally, on November 30th, 1982, U.S. submarine Thomas Edison collides with U.S. Navy destroyer in South China Sea. And that was This Week in Nautical History.
Very good. Excellent history. We love all that. And we just jump right into Quote of the Week. Sponsored by Spyglass Travel. Our good friends there, my friends Mr. Kevin and Miss Angie, run Spyglass Travel, and they can give you a good walking tour of St. Augustine. A good cardio workout, I might add. So, what is it? Let's see. I do therefore invite my fellow citizens to set apart and observe the last Thursday of November as a day of thanksgiving and praise. That's a good one, and it's Abraham Lincoln. I like that one. Very good. I like that. And this is a week that we should be giving praise to everyone. I wonder if this will work. Oh, look at that. A little bit of light. Magic. And 8 Bells, sponsored by our good friends at Marco's Pizza. I had some great Marco's Pizza the other night. I've had salads. I've tried just about everything on their menu, and I haven't had a bad meal yet. And it's pretty good to get a good meal from them because they make a doggone good pizza. And how many do we have for 8 Bells?
6.
All right, let's see what we got. Sally Kirkland Jr., an American actress and producer, a one-time member of Andy Warhol's The Factory. She was part of 1960s New York avant-garde theater. She appeared in more than 250 films and television productions during a 60-year career. Kirkland was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, miniseries, or television film for her performance in the horror film The Haunted, 91. She was also known for her roles in Best of the Best, JFK, and Bruce Almighty. She was 84 years old. Cleto Valentine Escobedo III, an American musician and band leader. He led Cleto and the Cletones, the house band for Jimmy Kimmel Live, appearing on the show from its inception in 2003 until his death in 2005. Escobedo began his career touring with Paula Abdul and Mark Anthony before joining the late night show, and he was only 59 years old. Daniel Anthony McGrath, an American television writer, educator, and stage director. He is known primarily for his work as a writer-producer for several TV series, including The Simpsons, Saturday Night Live, King of the Hill, Gravity Falls, and Mission Hill. He was only 61 years old. Stephen Downing is an American screenwriter, producer, activist, and investigative journalist who began his screenwriting career in the 1960s while still working as a Los Angeles Police Department officer. Downing has served as executive producer, showrunner, writer on 14 television shows as himself. His production credits include the series MacGyver, T.J. Hooker, Knight Rider, FX the Series, and RoboCop. He was 87 years old. James Abila, born James Joseph Simon, was an American television journalist who worked as a senior law and justice correspondent for ABC News. He worked at various stations throughout his career and won several awards for his efforts to investigative reporting. From 94 to 96, Avila was the investigative reporter for local NBC station KNBC in Los Angeles, where he covered the murder trial of O.J. Simpson. The station won a 95 Golden Mike Award and a 96 Emmy Award for that trial coverage. He was 70 years old. Rebecca Ann Heineman, an American video game designer and programmer. Heineman was founder or co-founder of video game companies Interplay Productions, Logicware, Contraband Entertainment, and Old Skull. And she was the chief executive officer of Old Skull from 2013 until her death in 25. She was 62 years old. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our 8 bells for the evening. We raise a glass and we toast both them, their legacy, their fans, and their families. Aye, 8 bells. Well, that just jumps us right into This Week in History, ladies and gentlemen. This Week in History. And it's sponsored by Dick Swing. So I don't really have to say a whole lot because we have a video for it. So go ahead, put that up there. Dick's Wings. Where does the captain take his hungry crew for a good lunch special? Why, Dick's Wings. Daily lunch specials even a pirate could afford. Why, look, a table filled with flavors and tastes for even the most discriminating of pirates. A great lunch and a great time is always had by all at Dick's Wings, St. Augustine, Florida, US 1 South.
We begin this week in history on November 24th, 1859. English naturalist Charles Darwin publishes On the Origin of the Species, radically changing the view of evolution and laying the foundation for evolutionary biology. November 25th, 1905. The first telegraph transmitter with a 1-mile range is advertised in Scientific American for $8.50. November 26, 1791. First U.S. Cabinet meeting held at George Washington's home in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Secretary of State Thomas Jefferson, Secretary of Treasury Alexander Hamilton, Secretary of War Henry Knox, and Attorney General Edmund Randolph attend. November 27, 1924. In New York City, the first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is held. November 28, 1720. Anne Bonny and Mary Read are tried, found guilty of pirating, and sentenced to death in Spanish Town, Jamaica, although the discovered pregnancies win them stays of execution. November 29, 1952. U.S. President-elect Eisenhower visits Korea to assess war. And finally, on November 30th, 1876, archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann discovers the gold mask of Agamemnon at Mycenae in modern Greece, known as the Mona Lisa of prehistory. And that was This Week in History.
Good points in history. This is a good week to be studying history, too. And it was done by Dick's Wings. Speaking of sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, we will be trying to load in some new sponsors next year for 2026. And we have some new ideas on how we'll be doing that. So we hope to bring in quite a few extra sponsors and move some of the ones that we have that have been with us for the last 3 years to give them a chance to take a break. Let's see, a shot across the bow. Ladies and gentlemen, I had too many to worry about this week. I've nonstop working, had several issues that I wanted to talk about, and decided, you know what? This is the week for Thanksgiving. This is the week to be thankful for what's around us, who might be within our circles, and to enjoy that time frame. So I just decided, I don't need a shot across the bow this week. I didn't want to worry about it. So be thankful, show thanks. We now have a new guest living in our house right now, and that is going to be for, we figure, a long term. We'll see what happens. So we're being thankful for family, and we're being thankful for friends that we know care also. On that note, that's my shot across the bow. We'll leave it at that. On the horizon, now there'll be no show next week. We're taking a day off, and we're trying to redo some scheduling here. And in 2026, there may be some weeks that we won't do shows. We'll see how it goes. We have to see how it has changed, or has it done anything to our analytics. I turn to my cartographer for that, and she will do all she can to make me understand how technology works. I am not that bright. I know that, but okay. But we will be doing a show on December 8th. Now, it says it's a members-only show, and I have John Lennox agreeing to do the show. So John Lennox will be doing the show with us as our members-only show. For those of you that don't know, John Lennox has written several books on historical sword fighting, shipboarding, and has given classes before to several pirates that I know in the art of sword fighting. So we'll have him, and we have had John on the show before in the past, but he's going to tune in to us from Michigan, and that'll be on December 8th. a members only show. I've already set the wheels in motion for a couple of pretty damn good magicians to come and join me for a show. And I'm working on a couple of other things in the new year. So we'll see what happens. On that note, there you go. Great happenings. I'm sure there's been a few great happenings. Our own Davey was involved in an event over the weekend, and I believe he's got a few pictures to show. Go ahead, Davey.
Yeah. It was a book. Actually, it was a book signing. Katie, who's part of the Sea Wolf Privateers, she just released her third book, and she put Powder Monkey in it, my character Powder Monkey. So Donna went with me, and we went down there. It was going on for like 4 hours. I only managed to make it through 2, but I did get some pictures. That's Katie, and that's her book.
Very good.
And Tentacles is the other person, one of the other characters in the book. And all the book proceeds go to those, all the foster family kids, everything she does with her books.
Well, we wish them success. Very good. I don't know that we have any other great happenings that have come about. If you're interested in a ride around the Night of Lights, send us a message or go to tastingtours.com and look for the character actors or the character rides. There are still a few left of Santa Claus. And then starting December 26th through January 10th, there will be several as Captain Mayhem if you'd like to ride around through the City of Lights and see St. Augustine as it's meant to be during the holidays. It's a great time. Mandy, you've never been here for the holiday time, have you? No?
I've only been there, so I've been there late January, I've been there August, I've been there October. I don't think I've been there November, December at all.
So the lights end on November 11th, I believe, this year. They're stopping it 2 weeks early this year. So, which is great because we go right into quite a few events starting in March. In fact, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers have 3 events that they're working on in March. So that'll keep us busy. As far as guests are concerned, like I said, I have guests. I'm working on the magician that has his show at the Casa Monica. I've seen him at 2 other events, and we tried to get him last year, but his schedule got so busy. And so we're going to bring him in, and he really wants to do it. He's the one that brought it up and said, hey, how about doing that show? And I said, okay. So we'll go ahead and do that and line that up. And there's a couple of other surprise guests that I'm working on to try to bring in and see if we can't get them here. One of them may be Mandy. Remember our interview with the pirate from One Piece?
Yes.
He has messaged me and he wants to come visit St. Augustine sometime in the next 6 months.
Don't keep me posted. I'll see if I can come in.
So that might be a fun one to have him on board and see where we can go with that. I really want to do some more of my round table ones, and I'm now working on some ideas to do some in-person ones, some in-person visits downtown. And I'm trying to figure out Instagram. While I'm thinking about it, does TikTok link into everything we do, or can it link into everything we do?
So TikTok is short form video. So only the short stuff can go onto TikTok. I do not believe that we can long stream on TikTok. I could be wrong, but I didn't believe you could. I don't play with TikTok very much. TikTok
I'm actually only thinking of it for the short versions.
So they're separate uploads. So you have to, where I set you up to load Facebook and Instagram simultaneously, YouTube is separate and TikTok is separate.
Okay. Because I've used TikTok before and I've been experimenting with it also. So I'm looking at some other things to add to what we're doing to get some more additions. I've created a new outdoor studio in our backyard, and I'll be putting up the lights for that outdoor studio for some new shoots down the way. And we'll be making some interesting outdoor video shoots. So we'll see what happens. On that, I guess we need the joke of the week reveal.
Or do you want to see a video, the History Channel one of why we celebrate Thanksgiving?
Oh, of course we do. Yes, I forgot about that. Go ahead, Thanksgiving. Yes, throw that up there.
To most Americans, the Pilgrims of Plymouth, Massachusetts are the iconic inspiration for today's Thanksgiving feast. After the winter of 1620 killed almost half of their people, the colonists formed a relationship with the neighboring Wampanoag tribe, who taught them about fishing, planting, and hunting. By autumn of 1621, the colonists had collected enough food to feed the community through the coming winter. The Wampanoags joined the colonists for a 3-day feast in honor of their bounty. The feast probably did not include our modern Thanksgiving staple, turkey. More likely, the colonists and Wampanoags dined on roast goose, along with corn, codfish, and lobster. This 1621 harvest meal is now commonly thought of as the first Thanksgiving. Yet for later generations of colonists, New England days of Thanksgiving had little to do with the 1621 harvest festival. Theirs was a religious holiday, descended from Puritan days of fasting, prayer, and giving thanks to God. Every autumn, the governor of each colony would declare days of thanksgiving for bountiful harvests, victorious battles, or drought-ending rains. In 1777, the Continental Congress decreed that all 13 of America's colonies celebrate a national day of Thanksgiving that year in celebration of their victory over the British at Saratoga. By the mid-19th century, many states celebrated the holiday. However, the date could vary by weeks or even months. A determined magazine editor named Sarah Josepha Hale set about establishing a national Thanksgiving Day. She passionately believed that such a day would help unite a nation headed towards civil war. Hale began a one-woman letter-writing campaign, urging politicians to establish an annual day of Thanksgiving. Her efforts were finally rewarded by Abraham Lincoln, who saw the unifying potential of the holiday. In 1863, 4 months after the victory at Gettysburg, he declared the last Thursday of November to be Thanksgiving Day. By the 20th century, Thanksgiving was a welcome day of leisure from a 6-day work week. In the 1920s, the National Football League was formed. In an effort to boost attendance, the fledgling Detroit Lions devised the concept of a Thanksgiving Day game. Parades also became a Turkey Day tradition, and department stores quickly saw their value as a kickoff to the Christmas shopping season. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade began in 1924, and year after year, millions of New Yorkers braved the cold to watch the festivities. Most of all, Thanksgiving is about family. With modern life moving faster than ever, Thanksgiving gives us a day to take a collective breath, reconnect with loved ones, and remember just how much we have to be thankful for.
Very good. And Thanksgiving is a grand thing. I do have to say this. When I left home when I was 18, Thanksgiving has always been hit or miss. And I think sometimes when it's miss, it's because we forget what it's actually for. It's hit when we remember and we have friends and family and loved ones around us. So anybody that's watching this or catches this over the next week, Miss Kara and I will be hosting s'mores around the campfire on Thursday evening for anybody that has not made extra plans or just needs an opportunity to escape whatever it is they're doing. So if you'd like to come and have s'mores at 6:30 in the evening, please do. We're doing family time because we now have our granddaughter living with us, and it's time to be family. On that note, now we can do the reveal of the joke. How's that sound?
Okay, It's time for the answer to the joke of the week. How do pirates enjoy their Thanksgiving leftovers? The answer is by keeping them in a treasure chest for later. I bet Mandy Joe wished that joke had stayed in a treasure chest.
Yeah, that one should have stayed locked away. That one was not as good. Well, to close out, since this is Thanksgiving week, Davey and Mandy, do you have a Thanksgiving wish that you'd like to pass on, or a thought, or anything?
I got something special. Here it is.
All right.
Oh, Thanksgiving Day is drawing near. Since Plymouth Rock, us turkeys live in fear. You're giving thanks for what you've got. Family, friends, and food and fun. But man, this oven's hot. You fill your plates up to the sky with cranberries, cornbread, stuffing, wings, and legs and thighs. So be thankful for this dinner, that your life's so freaking sweet. Be thankful that you're not a walking feathered slab of meat. Be thankful when you're happy, and thankful when you're free. But most of all, be thankful. Be thankful that you're not. Ooh. Me. Pretty good.
Very good. That was a good one. Mandy, did you notice that at the end of the video, the only ones he made that look like we were fat was you and me? He was hiding in the background. All right. On that note, Mandy, do you have anything you want to throw at anybody for a Thanksgiving wish or a good wail?
I just hope everybody has a great, amazing week, no matter where you are or what you're doing. And this just starts getting everybody ready for the holiday seasons to move into the new year.
Oh, very good. And is it cold out there in Utah yet?
Yes. I was in the Bahamas last week and I came back to like 45, 50 degree weather. So yes, it's cold. We don't have snow yet. We got a lot of fog though.
Oh, that's right. You were in the Bahamas, taking it easy, having a good trip with your daughter, right?
Yes, we were on a supernatural cruise. Well, a cruise with a supernatural convention on it. So she got to hang out with like Mark Shepard and a bunch of the rest of the cast from the Supernatural show.
Did you get us any Captain's Quarters podcast autographs?
I did not. You had to pay to get into anything. So I let her run amok and gave her passes and I went and slept on a beach.
Oh, well, that's even better. I understand that. I just saw that our good friend Mr. D just signed into the show just a few minutes ago. It's nice to see you, Mr. D. I hope that you're doing well. And maybe you don't have a whole lot going on. Come down and see us Thursday evening for Thanksgiving around the fire for a little bit. One of the few times I get to have a fire circle. I have Thursday off, but I do not have much else off. So let's see what happens. On that note, how about our thank you video? That would be a good way to go. Good job. Good.
This podcast is always searching the world for history, knowledge, and adventure. It takes a crew to run a podcast, so we would like to take this opportunity to thank those who help keep the podcast going.
The crew: Captain William Mayhem, Navigator Davey Longwood, Cartographer Mandy Joe. Our charities we support: Ageless Acres, St. Augustine Humane Society, and Inc. Investing in Kids. The three major charities for support, but always room for more. You too can be part of the crew. and support the show in many ways. Go to our Patreon. For a small monthly contribution, become a powder monkey, first mate, or captain sponsor. Go to YouTube and hit the like and subscribe buttons to join our ranks and support the show. It does take a crew. Thank you.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's all the platforms you can watch us on: YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Twitch, and Instagram. If you want to just listen to us, there's Spotify, iHeart, Music, Amazon, Twitter, Stitcher, Castbox, and iPod. I can't read that other one for some reason. My glasses need some work here. Maybe if I make the screen bigger. There it is, Apple Podcast. My gosh. It's hell getting old, ladies and gentlemen. It truly is. And on that note, I think we've reached the point of our show where we have to say good night and have a wonderful time. There is our email, ladies and gentlemen, Captain's Quarters Podcast 21 at gmail.com. Send us information if you like. Send us some thoughts, some requests, some ideas. We're open to just about anything. Send it to us and let's see what we can come up with. 2026 is looking to be a good year already, and let's make it a strong year with everything we do. Upon that note, I can't think of anything else, and it was advised that we wanted to make sure we kept our show to the short shows, and the only time it will go long is when we have a guest, but it will be paying members only get to hang out with the guest after the first 15 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be pushing that right along. Zachary Harker, we hope you have a great Thanksgiving up there in Michigan, Nightingale in Florida. I don't remember if Mark is back in town yet or not, but if he isn't, I hope that you have family to hang out with. If not, you have family over here at the Mayhem household. Let's see who else is on there that I want to say hello to real quick. Mr. D, happy Thanksgiving to you. You have a place to come down if you'd like. We'll be here sitting around. It's supposed to be chilly Thursday night, so let's see what happens. There's Mr. Leon. We're glad he was able to watch us also. We'll be working on some ideas with him and his leather work. Miss Kara is on board. And I think I caught everybody. I have. Very good. Upon that note, ladies and gentlemen, how do we sign off? Go ahead.
Part of the podcast.
Part of the crew.
Always. We can't do it without you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we could, but it's just not as much fun. It's more fun to have people around. So join us every Monday night, except on the Monday nights that we don't do the show. And we'll see you again on December 8th, ladies and gentlemen. December 8th. Next week with no show on December 1st. I actually have a meeting with a group of people talking about another event. So we'll see what happens. Cheers to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. And we will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye, and I'll be back.
With wit and
Good job.
charm, they make it clear. History's